5th, 2026. It is 6 p.m. We're going to start with a roll call. I'm going to go around the room, and I'm going to ask all members present to introduce themselves, speaking into the microphone.
Joy Pickanu. Caitlin Stubbs.
I'm Elizabeth Jones. I'm the chair.
Jane Camp.
Charles Bradley.
All right, next, we'll ask the city staff to please introduce themselves.
Lexi Robinson, Historic Preservation Planner.
Brad Callender, Planning and Zoning Director.
Laura Powell, City Clerk.
Logan Probst, City Administrator.
All right, next, we have the approval of the agenda. And I'm going to ask, has everybody had a chance to review the agenda for today's meeting? Yes. Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as submitted?
I make a motion to approve the.
Okay, we have a motion by Chuck. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, second by Jane. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Next, we have the approval of minutes. Has everyone had a chance to review the previous minutes from July 28th, 2026? Yes. Do we have any changes or corrections to those minutes? No? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion.
All right, motion made by Chuck. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, motion, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carried. All right, let's see, next we have old business. Let's see, we have COA 4734. This is 224 Boulevard. Lexi, do you have a presentation for us?
Yes, so start with our old business. This is 224 Boulevard from last month's meeting. I'm going to give you all a quick recap about last month's meeting. We can see this is the house on the property right now, our existing condition of the home. Last month, this is our original application as it is. They're applying for an addition to the right elevation of the house, 6/6 double hung windows, dormers on the house and this option. The double garage that's separated from the house that I'll get to in a minute, that's over there. The siding will be hardy board, the porch that has the front gable over it and a shed roof. The columns are colonial style. There's brick stairs going down and bricks also on the columns and all this. So this is the exact same materials on all the options that we're about to see from last month. So this was again from last month's meeting where this was the roof line. This one was a 4-foot roof ridge line that was higher than the original ridge line from the house. This one is a 2-foot ridge line that is a little bit higher than the original ridge line. Again, from last month's meeting. Both have the same garage. So, this is the garage. Okay. Based on many conversations I've had with the Bowdens and discussion y'all had last month, I believe that y'all needed some more pictures and depictions of the property and the proposals to better see the proportionality of the options and the structure itself. And the two figures that I'm about to show y'all, they're from the original from last month, but I took pictures of the actual lot itself and I put the pictures on the lot so y'all can see how they would look, how it would actually look on the lot. So you can better see the proportionality of how it looks. And then the garage is not in the exact place I'm going to show y'all in a minute because I couldn't get it exactly right. It's going to be farther back where there's a white shed that already exists on the property. It's not going to be removed. And this new garage is going to be next to it. And I made the garage smaller so that way you can kind of see the proportions of how it's going to look when it's set back farther. Then the third figure is when I had further discussion with the Bowdens and based on y'all's discussion, when y'all talked about how y'all wanted the symmetry was kind of off with figure 2, which again I'm going to show y'all in a second, from last month, where there was no dormers on the house and there was dormers on the garage. Well, figure 3 is has dormers on the house and dormers on the garage, which shows that symmetry, but it is still a 2-foot ridge line rather than a 4-foot ridge line. So let's look at those pictures now. So this is our original application with a 4-foot higher ridge line, dormers on the house, dormers on the garage. As you can see, the garage is basically almost in line with the house right now. It will be set back to where that white shed currently exists. That's how far back it'll be. You can kind of see here. This is where it will be. It is 95 feet back from the road. So it's, that's how far it'll be in line with that existing white shed. So I made it smaller because it is not, last time we also talked about how there was a little confusion about how it was 2 stories. It is not 2 stories. The garage is just 1 story. It does have a steeply pitched roof. It's not 2 stories. And it will not look larger than the house. It will be pushed back, so it will not be overpowering the house either. So I wanted y'all to better see how it will look proportionally. So yeah, but this is figure 1. This is our next one, again from last month's meeting, with no dormers on the house, 2-foot ridge line on the roof, and again, the same garage. And this is our third one, with is the new one for this month, with dormers on the house and the garage that's symmetrical. So y'all wanted that symmetry. So y'all could better see it and visualize it. Yeah. So let's get into our guidelines a little bit. Just like last month, the garage and outbuilding. So like I just said, garages and outbuildings should complement the dwelling itself and have similar or identical materials and be complementary mass and scale. And so this will be in the rear yard, like it says, and it will not overpower the structure. And the house siding they're applying for is hardy, and so will the garage be. So it will have matching material. It has the same type of roof. So again, it is complementary to the structure. So it meets that guideline. The siding, currently the house is vinyl siding, and our guidelines do discourage aluminum or vinyl siding. So adding back this hardy plank siding will actually add back to the character, because the character is, there's a lot of wood in this in hardy plank siding, or just plank siding in general in this district. So this will add back to the character and take away that vinyl siding that is not in this district really, and not part of the district. So this part is the roof. So the roof, like I said last time, big point of debate, discussion. The roof is important for the character for this house. This specific type of house, like we talked about, is an American small type house. And those are typically 1-story houses. There's, it needs to, the shape of the roof and the roofing material is very important. The roofing material will stay the same as it currently is. It is just, and the shape of the roof will stay the same as it currently is, because it is currently a side gable roof. But the height is now the discussion for y'all. The addition, so currently on the house, the addition, there is a screen porch. The new addition, even though it says in our guidelines that additions are discouraged from being visible from the public right-of-way, this new addition will just replace that current addition that is already visible from the public right-of-way. So it is not adding that much like new to the house. It is not changing the footprint of the house, and it is still a rectangular square footprint of the home, which again is complementary to the style of the house. So that is why it doesn't go against this guideline. This is from our survey and also from the Georgia Department of Natural Resources. Our survey said that this house was built in 1941 and it was an American small house. And our Georgia Department of Natural Resources defined the American small houses as 1-story homes, typically. And they usually have gable roofs like this one has. And they actually a little more of this article said they were steeply pitched gable roofs, which this one also has. So, and the garage would have that too. So, again, more to this type of the house. So now I wanted you to look at the actual district itself. So 226 is the house directly next door to 224. This is American Small House. 230 is next door to 226. Same side of the road, American Small House. 250 is down the street from this house. It is also an American Small House. They are all one story. They have double hung windows. They are side gable roofs. They very much like this house. They also all have that front gable over their stoop, which in this case, the applicants are asking for a front gable over their new porch, which I think is reflective of the front gables over these stoops. So I wanted y'all to look at these and imagine them, like how it looks next to these houses. And this is directly across the street from 224. So these are completely different. These are not American Small Houses. This is a craftsman home and more like a colonial revival, like farmhouse type style house. And I wanted y'all to look, these are, again, not two-story houses, that they are like steeply pitched roofs. They have different types of roofs, these are hip roofs, but they are, again, just not 2 stories, they're different types. And I wanted you mostly to look at 221 and how it had this garage. So when you're driving down the street, I took this picture when I was driving down, and if you're like about to pull into the driveway, if you were to 224, right before it, you can see this garage. I hope y'all can see that. It's a little dark, I just noticed that, I'm so sorry. This is a 3-car garage. It is rather large behind this craftsman house. It has complementary materials. It has complementary shape and form to this house, but it is still a large garage. It is recessed, but you can still see it while you're driving down the road. And it is 1 story like this garage, like the house and like all this stuff, but it's still large. So proportionally, if you put it next to this house, it would look larger than it is. But because it is recessed, you can tell it doesn't overpower this house, even though you can still see it from the road. So I wanted y'all to see how it would look, visualizing it, because this is directly across the street from 224. Okay. Based on everything I just told you, staff recommends approval for the certificate of appropriateness with the conditions that the addition on the right elevation closely continues the original ridgeline as it illustrated in figures 2 and 3. And that's the end of my staff report.
Thank you, Lexi. All right, so I guess we'll ask the applicant to step forward if they are here. I believe they are. I recognize you. If you could introduce yourself into the microphone for the record, and if you want to add anything to Lexi's presentation.
This is Sandra Bowden, my wife, and I'm Mike Bowden.
Thank you.
We don't have anything to add.
Okay. All right, well, next I'll ask everyone on the panel if y'all have questions.
Yes. Thank you for the presentation. I have concern about a couple things. One of those is the dormers. I don't believe the dormers are all in keeping with the American Small House style. And I'm glad on the right one, it shows the dormers not on the house, but it does show the dormers over the garage, and I would rather, my preference would not do that. And of course, and one thing that I feel I'm sad, but I think the front porch is also not in keeping with the American Small House design. As you saw on the previous photos, all of the small, American small houses did not have, porches. You know, you have maybe a small space to, prevent water falling on you to enter and exit the door. But compared to the both Victorian and the other house, they are those are definitely large front porches. That's a different style entirely. So, you know, I hate to say it, but I feel like it's not in keeping with the American small house. But the lower rise for the extension, I think is that, I mean, that's a small and not a big deal. You know, so I'm glad that could be done. And the carport or the garage, you know, especially being back from the back of the house, fine, totally fine, you know. So anyway, that's my presentation.
Well, did you have a question?
No, I just wanted to say that's my, I didn't know if you had any, something to say.
The only thing I'd say is we're happy to do whatever's in keeping with the small house. That would be consistent with, now, from what our discussions with Lexi, we were under the understanding that what she was going to present tonight, each of those were in keeping with the guidelines of the historic region of Monroe. So there must be some miscommunication. And
I would say not miscommunication, but rather disagreement.
well, there must be some disagreement, because now the only other thing I would say, and again, we'll do whatever the commission would prefer, because we just would like to get this approved so we can move forward. If the dormers are an issue, we'll take them off. If you're okay with the one without the dormers. Now, on the house with the garage, or the photograph that Lexi prepared, or the images that Lexi prepared, where there are no dormers on the house and dormers on the garage, I will say that there is a large antebellum home immediately diagonal from the house that is not at all in keeping with any home on that street. It has a triple garage with 3 dormer windows, and that was approved by you all.
Are you talking about the arts and crafts one?
It's an antebellum home. That's a large home that was moved
It was moved.
next to the Methodist.
Oh, sure.
One that was
Yeah,
moved.
that's a colonial style.
Well, I don't know what it is, but it
Yeah, but
was
that's-
approved by you all, and for consistency, this is nothing, this is much more in keeping with the small house style than that home, and it has a triple garage with 3 dormers.
That may be the case.
And they're shed-style dormers, but anyway, I don't want to, I know we don't want,
We do like the dormers on the house because it does match the dormers on the garage.
but again, we'll do what the commission, whatever you all approve.
I like the dormers on both. I think it adds a lot of character to the house, and I think it's in keeping with the other houses on the street. I walked that street and looked at every house, even almost trespassed on your property, but Randy wouldn't let me go. But
Well, that'd be fine.
well, anyway, because I wanted to envision it both ways. And you have come such a long way in taking the roof line down. I think, you know, we need to reach a happy compromise if it's in line with what the historic preservation allows.
And we're happy to do that.
Yes. And I think the dormers make it. That's just my opinion.
Okay, thank
Do we have any other questions or thoughts? Do we want to go ahead and make a motion?
I
We
will.
need to make a motion tonight.
I will. I make a motion that we accept the house with the dormers over the garage and the dormers on the roof of the house.
All right, motion made by Jane. Do we have a second for this motion?
I second.
Can we get a clarification as to what figure you're
That's figure
referring to?
3.
Figure 3.
Thank you.
I think that's 2.
Is it 2? I don't.
No, guys, it's figure 3.
It is figure 3.
Oh, sorry, I'll go back.
I think we had them backwards, but that's figure 3.
Oh,
I got it right here. It's figure 3.
it's figure 3.
Figure
sorry.
3.
It's there,
Figure
sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Yes.
Joy.
I second that.
Okay. Joy is second in this motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, for the record, Chuck is opposed. Laura, do you have that? I do. Okay. All right, so the motion carries. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, we have new business. We have a certificate of appropriateness, 4795, 218 North Midland Avenue. Do we have someone here for that? Okay, well, Lexi's going to go ahead and give a presentation first, but I just wanted to make sure we had somebody here for
I'll be
that.
back in a second.
All right, guys. This is 218 North Midland Avenue. This is our existing conditions. This is the apartment. So the owner is petitioning for a certificate of appropriateness to approve new rear patios, landscaping, fencing, lighting, and other aesthetic enhancements to revitalize and improve the existing multifamily buildings located on the property. This multifamily apartments have been located on the property since 1988 to 1989. So this is where we can see this what's there now, and these are, I'm going to be referring back to this a lot in my next couple slides. These little red dots, which I zoom in on later, show you where new things are. These are obviously our existing buildings, and this is where new stuff is gonna go. So we're gonna look at that in a minute. So these are more existing condition photos. This is the rear yard where all the patios and fencing and stuff is gonna go. So we'll start with our patios. So they're proposing new 10 by 12 poured stamped concrete for rear patios for each apartment unit. New rear landscaping for each unit. New fencing along North Midland Avenue frontage as well as between each apartment. New string lighting for each patio. Improved pedestrian access to North Madison Avenue and improved sidewalks and interconnectivity between all the apartments in the middle. Brick retaining walls that will match the existing building facades currently. Improved mall kiosk covers and improved trash receptacles. So this is our patios. That's on each on the legend, the big one, which we'll go back if y'all want to. But behind each apartment, here's what they look like, and this is what our they're concrete pavers and our little designs for them. And then our Fs are our privacy fences, as you can see over here. That'll be between and behind these, and these are also designs for what the fences could look like between each apartment unit with little planter boxes. And here's some, again, here's where retaining walls would go, all of our little Gs. And these are examples of our brick retaining walls and what our patio lighting would look like between all the wood fencing around the patios themselves. And in the middle island of the parking lot is where the proposed, this is what currently it looks like, and this is the proposed trash receptacles. And they're at the top of the complex. This is where the existing trash goes. And these are the proposed new like dumpster collectors, or where to hide the trash so it looks nicer. And then this is just more designs for interconnected walkways, more retaining walls, little hiding the trash screenings, what they could look like in brick or wood, landscaping, And again, brick retaining walls and brick stairs and handrails that would be in the complex and how they would look. All right, so for our guidelines. So normally when we talk about additions, we think of houses and putting like a room on a house, but we don't specifically have anything about patios in our primer. So when I was thinking about additions, I pulled this because additions, like patio, you're making an addition to the back of these apartments. So I thought this would apply. And additions should respect the character and integrity of the historic house, or in this case, the multi-family unit, and be compatible to the original building. Attempts to make the additions look as though the original are discouraged. Additions should be unobtrusive and proportional to the original structure. Additions should be not visible from the public right-of-way and preserve the character of the neighborhood. So the main part to focus on, they meet these guidelines, are they are proportional. They're behind the apartments. They are not visible from the public right-of-ways. And concrete, they are an appropriate material for patios. And of course, these aren't historic significant buildings, but you still want to make sure that our materials and the design is still in keeping with our historic district, so it doesn't look out of place in our historic district. And then for walls and fences, these sites should be subordinate in design elements to architecture of the district. They should conform to any historic precedents for screening yard, parking areas, or private spaces. Materials should be traditional. So this is what we have for walls and fences currently in our primer. And I wanted to focus on for like its screenings for yards. So this screens for our patios, for our little yards, and also the materials. There's a lot of brick going on and wood going in our brick retaining walls and our fencing. And brick and wood is our very appropriate material for North Broad Street District. So again, it is very appropriate for this district with our mostly just talking about our materials. So, yeah. Because of all this, staff recommends approval for the certificate of appropriateness. And that's it.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ross Bradley. I'm here on behalf of the property owner, Monroe Midland LLC. So I'll be happy to entertain any questions that you have about this project.
Hi, Ross. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, well, does anybody on the panel have any questions?
I think it's going to look absolutely wonderful.
It's going to be good. Yep. Especially off the North Madison side. Once we get the retaining walls in and terrace it down, it'll be beautiful. Plus the, 700 so plant species that will be introduced into the property. So like a botanical gardens to hopefully match Miss Judy's front yard.
I think it's going to look great. I did have one question about that, how there's that little kind of wooded lot in between the property that we're hearing about today and her house.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there going to be a fence or anything going into that area at all?
We're going to keep that as a natural buffer.
That's what I was curious about.
Yeah, I mean, I can't foresee any reason why we would need to intrude on it. There's nothing in the plans that currently show that as being the case. So it should remain undisturbed.
Well, no questions here? Okay, do I have any questions from the public? Do I have a motion?
I would make a motion to accept
Can I get you to speak into the microphone for the record?
I would make a motion to accept the certificate of appropriateness.
Okay, Chuck has made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Caitlin has made a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried unanimously. Thank you so much for
Thank you so
coming
much.
in. All right, next on the agenda, we have certificate of appropriateness, 4796, that is 321 North Broad Street. Do we have someone here for that one? Okay. All right. All right. I'll go ahead and ask Lexi if she has a presentation for us.
Yes, I do. So now we're going to talk about 321 North Broad Street. This is 321 North Broad Street, and the property owner is requesting for approval of the certificate of appropriateness to install 4 matching metal chimney caps. So as you can see down here, this is the location of every single chimney on the property. That you can't see all of them from the public right-of-way. You can only see these front 2 right here. I'm about to show you the picture in the next slide, but this is all 4 of them. So there'll be these 4. So The property owners are requesting the COA to install 4 matching metal chimney caps, similar to this photo right here. The chimney caps will be powdered coated matte black to match the front door and the window shutters. Classic Georgian homes throughout Georgia regularly incorporate chimney caps of this style and type because they improve the long-term viability of the chimneys. A lot of tops are cracked sometimes on the original chimneys, and these caps divert water away from the chimney stacks to ensure their long-term viability. So that is why sometimes they are necessary, and this is what they look like. And these are the front 2 that are visible from the right-of-way, that are little red circles. So we don't have anything that is specific in our primer that's about chimneys. So I pulled from our details. So our details section in our primer, it talks about the important aspect of any preservation project is the retention of original details. The application of details are not compatible with the historic and architectural character of the house should be avoided. Now, these chimney caps, as I just talked about, they are compatible with this Georgian type house, and they do preserve the long-term viability of the chimneys. And because of that, staff is recommending approval for this certificate of appropriateness. And that's it.
Thank you, Lexi. Ross, would you like to come back up?
Good evening, y'all. My name's Ross Bradley. Thank you for having me. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to entertain, but I believe this is period specific to a Georgian revival home. The chimney that you can see on the right side of the home has 4 flues inside the chimney. We had them scoped. They are terracotta, obviously from the original 1924 construction. They have been deteriorating over time, so they will all be, or 2 of the 4 will be brought back to life on the interior, and this would just be to protect any exposed masonry that still is, exposed to the elements. So.
I think this will help to maintain the character and integrity of the home.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if y'all are aware of the owner, but he's done a handful of projects around the city, and it's to a frustrating fault sometimes on my side because he is very specific about architecture and period specificness. So the chimney caps will be done to the utmost standard, I'm sure.
Does anybody on the panel have questions? Does anybody in the public have questions? Okay, do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the proposal for the chimney caps on this Georgian-style home.
Jane has made a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Chuck has seconded. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carried unanimously. Thank you so much, Ross, for coming.
Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all. Have a great evening.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have a certificate of appropriateness, 4797. That is 305 Millage Avenue. Do I have someone here for that? Okay, we're going to get you to hold on for just a second. Lexi's going to make a presentation, and then we'll call you forward.
Alrighty, guys. So this is 305 Millage Avenue. The owner is petitioning for a certificate of appropriateness to add a new wood fence on the right side of the property, as you can see here. Or no, I'm sorry, that is the left side. My bad. There are already existing fences on the north and east property lines of the property, and the fences are on the adjacent properties, not this lot. And the one to the east is not located in the historic district, but one is. So, yeah, so there's 2 existing, this one's not. So, the new wood fence will be 96 feet long and 6 feet tall and have dog ears on the top, so it pointed like this. And as you can see here, I pulled again for our implementing sensitive site improvements in our guidelines about walls and fencing. Site elements should be subordinate to design elements to the architecture of the district. They should conform to any historic precedent for screening yards, parking areas, or private spaces. And materials should be traditional. There are already lots of wood fencing in this area, so this material is traditional. And 6-foot dog ear fencing is very appropriate for this district, which is why staff has recommended approval for this certificate of appropriateness. And that's all from me.
Thank you, Lexi. Appreciate it. If y'all would like to come forward and introduce yourselves into the microphone.
Thanks. I'm Mark Hensel. This is my wife, Kimberly.
Hi.
There is one thing. So on the right-hand side, when you're facing the house, if you can go back to two screens, one more. So on the diagram that's hand-drawn, it's on the right-hand side, that will not be, it will only be 85 foot of fence. It's going to come down the property line and then square off with the end of the front porch there. So it's not going to go all the way to the roadway. That's the only thing I would say.
Okay. Does anybody have questions? Anybody on the panel have questions? Okay. Anybody in the public have questions? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve this COA.
All right, Caitlin has made a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Joy has seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried unanimously. Thank y'all so much for coming in.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate you. All right, next on the agenda, we have Certificate of Appropriateness 4798. That is 304 North Broad Street. Do I have somebody here for that one? Okay, I'm going to let you hold on just for a second, and Lexi's going to make a presentation.
All right. So, this is 304 North Broad Street, and the property owner is petitioning for a COA for approval for a new roofing and the addition of an ADA ramp. So, the roof will retain its original hip shape and replace the existing roof with just new asphalt shingles and have that material. The ADA ramp, so this is the new roof. So, oh wait, sorry, before I should say anything, the roof is there. So, this is the old roof, this is the new roof. This is a retroactive COA, the roof has already been completed, so I just wanted y'all to know that. So this is the new roof. So, yes. So then it has retained its shape, it is the same shape, it is the same materials, and that is what it looks like. And now for the ramp. So the ramp is going to be made of wood and wood railings like the existing porch and have a concrete pad at the bottom. And there's two possible locations for the ramp, either on the back right elevation or the rear elevation that faces Bull Springs Avenue. So this one is the back right, and this one faces Bull Springs Avenue. So if I go back, let's see if I can find it. It's gonna be like here, or it would be over there in the back facing this road. I wish I had a better map, but I didn't. Okay, so here it is. You can see where it would be basically where these bushes are, or take out this wood stairs, and it would be here. So, our two guidelines, roof. So our roofs play an important part in the district. Most roof materials are composition shingle on single and multi-gable roofs. Most of the time, original roofing has been replaced. In the case it has. The shape of the roof and the roofing material should be respected in rehab work. Again, in this case, the shape of the roof has been respected and the materials have been respected. So it meets this guideline. And for health and safety code, compliance with health and safety code and handicap access should be carried out with such a manner that preserves the historic building and the spine spaces and preserves exterior features. So the handicap access rails ramps are still made with materials that matches the existing porch railings. So it is appropriate to the existing material of the house and still ADA compliant for people that need handicap access. So it does, I believe, meet this guideline. And because of that, staff recommends approval for this certificate of appropriateness. And that's all for me.
Okay. Thank you, Lexi. I ask you the applicant to come forward and introduce themselves into the microphone.
Hey there, I'm Jenny Van Oos from Willett, and we already did the roof, sorry. The last storm that came through ripped off the back side of the shingles, and it leaked all in the office, and our current residents are attorneys. So instead of being sued, we thought that we'll just fall on the sword and beg for forgiveness, but there was really nothing we could do. And then as far as the ramp goes, he says, well, now we also want a ramp. So that's, I appreciate your consideration.
Do you have a preference on where the ramp goes?
I mean, they would like it to go on the side of the building, and it does give a little more length, so it's not going to be as steep. But we've given two positions, and either woodwork, the one behind the building will be a steeper ramp and harder to get up. They have a lot of aging people that visit them for closings or probate work or things like that, and it has become a necessary requirement to have the ramp now.
Do y'all have any questions? Questions from the panel?
Well, I'll say I agree with you, and I think the side one, it would be better. The height of the front porch would be less than the one at the back.
We have a longer, because it's longer, it gives us more time to get up to the porch.
According to the ADA, I think it would be risky to try to do the one in the back. It might be work, but I'm not sure, but definitely easier on the side.
Anybody else have questions? Do we want to approve this and let them choose where they want to put it?
I think so.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to detract from the character of the home.
No.
And I think, in this case, I think that we need, the ADA requirements, are the important feature here. I mean, that's, and I don't think it's either way, either place we put the ramp, it's not going to detract. Do you have thoughts? Anybody else have thoughts? Okay.
Of the COA, you're giving the applicant either option 1 or 2, so long as it meets ADA requirements? Okay.
I agree.
Do we have any questions from the public? Okay. All right. Are we ready to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept what she's represented tonight and let them choose whether it's on the side or on the back.
We need to make a motion for the roof as well.
And
So as presented, and then with a choice of the ramp, of the placement of the ramp.
yeah,
For either location as presented.
right. And one for the roof, that we accept it because it's already on the house.
Does that work, Lexi?
Mhm.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, Joy has seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carried unanimously.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for coming in. Okay, next on the agenda, we have adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Okay, Jane has made a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Joy has made a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carried unanimously. This concludes the HPC meeting of August 25th, 2026. We are adjourned.